This video is for you if you've recently failed your PLAB 1 exam. I'm Dr. Arora from Arora Medical Education, and I get contacted a lot by doctors who have recently failed their PLAB 1 exam, and I spend a lot of time building up confidence again. I spend a lot of time looking at plans for the next attempt. I spend a lot of time getting people back on track. So this video is going to talk about 3 really important things to remember or think about if you are in the position of having recently failed your PLAB 1 exam. Let's go. Number 1, remember that you are not alone. I get contacted probably every other day by somebody who has unfortunately failed their PLAB 1 exam, and everybody seems to think they're the only one who's failed the exam, but you are certainly not alone. There are many doctors who have not passed PLAB 1 and don't pass it second time, third time, and end up passing on the 4th time. So just remember, if you are feeling right now that you are literally the only one who has failed your exam, maybe all your friends have passed, maybe all your study group have passed, maybe everybody in the social media group that you're in has passed, and you seem to be the only one who hasn't, please remember, there are hundreds of doctors before you who didn't pass PLAB 1, who are now working in the NHS as doctors over in the UK. So important to remember that you are not alone. That's an important starting point. And just remember, there are many who've been through your path beforehand and who get through PLAB 1 in the next sitting. The second really important thing to remember if you've just failed PLAB 1 is that when you go into your next sitting, and this might be your second sitting, third sitting, fourth sitting, remember your base is so much stronger this time than it was last time. Now, usually when someone fails an exam like PLAB 1, the feeling is, oh, how am I going to do all of this again? I just spent, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, whatever it was, revising, so much time, so much energy, so much sacrifice, and of course that's all right, but the feeling is that you've got to do all of that again, and where do I get this energy from? And I feel so deflated, and it's just not going to happen. Remember, your base is significantly stronger now than it was when you first started or when you did your last attempt. Now, you haven't just failed exam with this exam and gone to 0%. You probably failed it with maybe 5%, 10% of a gap. So your base is already, let's say, 55, 60%. And you've got to now climb this bit up before your next sitting. You're not down to 0 where you have to do everything again plus the difference. And it's really important to remember that your base is actually very strong. You've probably done lots and lots of questions. You've probably read guidelines. You've probably gone through lots of material. Now, when you come around to prepare for the next attempt, it's not about let's just go from the beginning and do everything else again and hope it is different. It's about thinking, okay, now how am I going to be more efficient? How do I spend some time and focus and energy on the areas that perhaps I didn't have time to do in enough detail, or areas that the exam showed me I didn't know in enough detail, or areas that I thought I knew but maybe now I don't. That is smart, efficient preparation, and that's what's going to be the difference between this attempt and the next attempt. So remember, when you fail PLAB 1, your knowledge has not just gone back down to 0. You have a really strong starting point, a really strong base, and you've just got to now efficiently work up the ladder and get those other bits covered before your next sitting. So in essence, your next preparation is much different to the preparation that you just did for the first sitting. And the third thing that I want to just drill in at this point, because I teach a lot of people for PLAB 1 and we have lots of resources and mocks and online courses and audiobooks and flashcards and all sorts of things. But the most important thing that we need to teach people when it comes to PLAB 1, particularly if you haven't passed it and you want to pass it the next time, is that it's the small changes that make the biggest difference. Yes, you can go and work an extra 5 hours every day for the next 6 months. That may, of course, put you into that passing zone, but actually it's the small changes that are so much more important. And small changes come in 2 main areas: technique, because often people don't focus on technique enough, and of course knowledge, but smart knowledge, not just let's try and learn everything under the sun. So small changes are key. Now, if you've done any of our webinars for PLAB 1 or any of our live courses, you know we really talk about technique in a big way, and you'll have seen how small changes in your technique or the way you approach a question can have huge advantages in how you perceive the question on exam day. And if there's a chink in your armor, if there's an area of technique that you're not quite knowing about, or you know about but don't quite know how to deal with, then that may be getting you 4, 5, 6, 7 questions wrong, which could be the difference between you passing and not passing this exam. So small changes are important. We teach a lot of those on our resources, but also small changes in knowledge as well, and being smart about knowledge. There's no point just learning everything that you can find on hypertension. It's about knowing what are the 7, 8, 9 key things that I need to know about hypertension, and then I put it away and move on to something else. Sometimes people aren't very smart in the way they learn things. Sometimes people aren't smart enough in terms of the technique, and small changes to both can make a big difference to your next sitting in PLAB 1. So before I recap those 3 really important changes, a few words about how we can help you prepare for your next PLAB 1 sitting. Like mentioned, we have lots of resources, and straight away the coupon Arora Video 10 will get you 10% off any of those on the Arora Medical Education website. Whether it's our all-in-one PLAB 1 Gold package, whether it's the online course, the audiobooks, the flashcards, the mock exams, the questions, there's something there for you regardless of how you prepare and at what stage of preparation you are on. So if you need someone to focus both on the technique and on the knowledge, then something like our PLAB 1 Gold Pass will be of value, but please use that 10% coupon. Now, the 3 things that you really need to remember if you have just failed PLAB 1. Number 1, you are not alone. There are many, many doctors in your shoes right now. Number 2, your base is strong. You've got a really strong starting point to launch off for the next sitting. And number 3, small changes make a huge difference in PLAB 1. I really hope this video has been of some value. We've got lots more teaching and PLAB related videos on the channel. So if you do like this video, please do subscribe, put a comment down below and share the video if you can. You know the hashtag Campus Will Pass, you know the hashtag I went with Arora. Let's get you through your PLAB 1 exam.